treat your step with every ornament we got. I'm stuck in time, you know we're flowing from the top. And I hear sleepers bouncing off the halls as the church choir sings along. Feel my heart melt when you walk through those doors. For Christmas, you're all I want. All I wanted was you. 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 And I hear sleepers. All I wanted was you. Feel my heart melt. All I wanted was you.
Can I be your star tonight? You fill my soul with light the day we met. I don't wanna leave your side. Have me by your side when the sun sets. Let's leave for an eternity. We'll sail across the lights beyond the sky. I'll be with you eternally. I'm an addict for your love, it keeps me high.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Brazil here for our Division 1 drivers, round 3 of Australian Racing League. Drivers tonight are going to be going around this 4-kilometre track, 15 corners, 2 DRS sections, and most famously known for the Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton little battle going into turn 4. I am Butters, your host tonight, filling in for Zilla and Snoop. As you can see, Eckham and Seb taking an early lead in our Division 1 championship, both with wins under their belts and both with podiums. Just the second and the third place difference there between our two front runners. Going down the pack, though, we've got Apex, Combined YT, Tigger, Kebab, Huey, Philly, ABK, and Svit, all with points currently and rounding out our top 10. So tonight's going to be an interesting night. You've got 36 laps going around Brazil. We've changed up a bit. It was full quali in the first 2 rounds, but we have changed back to the shortened quali session. So only the 1 18-minute session to get everything sorted tonight before our drivers meet to make sure that they are ready to go for this race. So our drivers just loading in now for the 1 and only quali session for our Division 1. Now, we've seen, obviously, our 2 other divisions on Wednesday night and Tuesday night go around this track. So, a bit different to Baku because there's not many safety cars that came out compared to... So, I'm just trying to get all our data up so that everyone is able to see what's going on. Not as much safety car action as what we saw in previous weeks with Baku. Our Division 3 guys actually managed to go the whole race without a single safety car, which for them is remarkable. Our Division 2 had 1 or 2 safety cars, which jazzed things up. So we'll be seeing what happens with our Division 1 drivers. So the P1 time last night was a low 107. So I'll be expecting these guys to crack the 106s tonight. Obviously, with no Eckham tonight, so a perfect chance for Seb to jump into the leadership there as Apex manages to spin around and that corner there, that turn 10S as we've certainly seen a few spins go around in all divisions there, so I'll be keeping an eye out on that corner for a couple crashes, which could change the game and the race. We saw kind of P1 last night was a place you just did not want to be during the race in our Division 2. Then we had about 3 or 4 drivers who were in P1 comfortably and all decided to spin out just because of those few little turn chicanes in Sector 2. So, Eka might be joining in late here as I see him join the chat. So, Eka might be not in for quali but could be in for the race. So, Eka could be starting last year. And that could be interesting to see how that plays out with our championship leader trying to do a Max Verstappen last to first. So, on board with Apex is going to post the first lapped time for the quali session in the Alfa Romeo. Going down now into our first DRS section on the ERS the whole way around here. And yeah, Foxy, fair point, no dodge as well tonight. So, a couple of drivers missing tonight, probably our least amount of drivers in a lobby for the week. So only 13 tonight, so not as congested going into that turn 1 and 2 little Senna and Dassault as well. So, which is obviously your major point for crashes. Eckham actually manages to get into quali, so that takes a bit more, or puts a bit more pressure on Seb to try and put in a lap, who was thinking that they might have had an easy run tonight, but championship leader has managed to get themselves into this quali last second. Apex here now heading into this final corner and heading down this back straight, heading to our start-finish line. Foot to the floor, open. Oh, he's actually going to back out of that lap. Not happy with that one. So, is it Svit or is it... Who's coming around? Where, boy? It's coming around sector 1. Who's posted? Taz is coming around at 107.1. So, that's quite fast for a banker lap, considering that was our pole position time last night. So, be interesting to see what times the rest of our group can do. Huey here coming in to probably start their flying lap now. The M-Dog comes in at a 107.7 as well. So if you're not in the 107s already, you can tell that positioning is going to be quite tough for you in this quali. Ezekiel coming into this final corner here to head down this main straight. Again, foot to floor. Try not to make sure your back end doesn't go on you the last second there. Takes a wider line than most. Most people like to hug that pit lane there. It will post a high 108, just over the 108s there. So we'll be P4 temporarily, but we've still got a fair few drivers here who are still needing to put in time. So combined YT in the Aston Martin looking to get themselves up in with their teammate in the second row there. As we've gone through the tough sections of Sector 2. Drix, mate, if you're wanting to put your money on yourself, you're welcome to join. You still can join in for the rest of this season. Next week is where the big challenge is, because we have a 100% race next week. Is a new thing that we've brought in for this season of ARL. So we've got 200% races in a row for the next 2 weeks. So get ready for that next week, as there will be plenty of racing to watch, because it'll be about a just over 2 hour session for us to commentate for you all. So I know I'm doing a couple races already, so I'm trying to see if I can do all 3 and have plenty of commentating for you all to enjoy. Just looking now where our championship leader, who has already voided this first Baker lap, so not the start that Ekem was wanting, might be feeling a bit rushed after having a late entry into the quali. But on board now with Seb, who we did see pull out of their first attempt, as we see Ekem there spin around. So definitely not the start that Ekem would have been wanting to keep their position in the championship lead. As we'll go on board now with Seb. So Spliff's already got themselves out of quali, as I believe they've got a quali ban tonight. So Spliff will be starting at the back of the pack. Cato back in 14th though. They are one of our unfortunate drivers who actually spun out in the front last night. So they'll be looking to try and see how they go again in the Division 1. Now we have a few drivers in each division that are allowed to fill in the division above to see how they go with the faster speed. So my best wishes to Kat and see how they go tonight with our top drivers here in ARL. One-time Prodigy winner. Claiming the Prodigy win there, Drix. No, we've gotten rid of the Prodigy Novice and Expert division. Oh, Seb spun around after having to pull out of their first lap. A spin on their second lap is not what they would have been hoping for here. Eckham has voided their second attempt here, and those tyres are gone as Eckham's just crashed in Sector 2, and we will not be getting a time from our championship leader. Eckham will be starting at the back of the pack with Spliff in the 7th row, and we'll have to try and go from last to first here to keep this championship lead. Cat, unfortunately, has done the same and has gone too wide at S corners there, and has voided that track, or that lap as well. Couple of drivers still not to post a time here, so Apex coming around now. Be one of our last drivers who need to post a time. 107.1 by Tazza, which is technically his banker lap, is still the driver to beat. Has about 3/10 on Huey, who managed to do a 107.5 basically. Followed by M-Dog, who's on a 107.7 as well. So Svit just getting inside the 108s at a 107.95. So still plenty of room here for a lot of drivers to catch up in a few positions. So now, of course, if you haven't heard yet, ARL has branched out into the iRacing League on Sunday. So the GT3 series is just started last week when we did Daytona. We will be having Virginia on this Sunday, 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Time as well. So there is a practice session, a quali, a sprint, and a feature race all involved in the one session there. So plenty of viewing for drivers now, for anyone who's interested in racing, all the way from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays with our F1 to our GT series on iRacing on Sunday. So, which I'll be commentating again. So everyone gets a nice, amount of me commentating throughout this week. It's been great. It's been good. Apex now coming in, posts a mid 107, jumps into that second row there. And I'm just realizing, I'm just going to adjust my sound. Sorry, 1 second. Just to make sure I'm not overbearing. My apologies. So again, we'll see a couple of drivers now who'll be coming around trying to post better times here. Huey is 500ths up, so not enough to jump in position, but certainly gives a bit more room between him and Svit. Svit posts a 105, but Huey's not happy with that coming into the pits. And Svit jumps into P3, so nice little run there by Svit. As Weiraboy got to be giving way to Dutchy or Apex. I believe it's Apex Apex has managed to get themselves into a 107.7. So still second row there for Apex. As they're second up, so I believe they're heading to the pit lane as well. So we'll jump back on board with Weiraboy, who a 108.4 or 108.5 basically, as they're about to head into their second timed lap here. Great thing about Brazil is that, Weiraboy's not happy with everything at the moment, coming in and doing a pit stop again. So clearly not happy with those tyres at the moment. Kebab has already voided that lap there. So, but the man in question, Seb, currently second in our championship, has got an absolute perfect opportunity here to get on the front row. Eckham, the championship leader, has crashed out of this quali, and Seb now going to try and get as many points in Brazil as possible, as his teammate, is it Tazza, who has spun around at S as well in Sector 2. Coming in now, Seb hugging that pit lane line there, comes in with a 107.8, so can jump up a few spots into the third row. Probably not the result they were hoping for, but still probably one more chance, maybe two, depending on how quick they can get back to the pit lane before they will have a last second chance to get in a little bit further and try to capitalize on this chance that they've got to take the championship lead. So Master, if you're looking to join, mate, I'll put the Discord link in the chat, but you are still able to join this season. We still have 6 weeks to go. And you're more than welcome to join in, mate. There's plenty of room for drivers to join in all divisions. We go from our Division 3, 2, and 1 on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, respectively. So absolutely, if you're wanting to join, that's the link there for you. So it's Tazza almost loses the back end. He voids that lap, so not too much pressure on Tazza at the moment because he currently is P1, so he'll just be hoping that the drivers behind him don't catch him. He's got about 3/10 between him and Huey in second, but M-Dog is quite down on their time, so I'll be saying M-Dog will be coming into the pits on this one. Yeah. And, ooh, Kebab. Trying to take a few little cheeky shortcuts to get back to pit lane, change those tyres and get back out there for a last chance. So, not many drivers out on track at the moment. Everyone's coming in, getting themselves prepared for this last run, last timed lap coming around. So, Huey potentially goes purple sector 2. So, Huey here might be on for improvement of time. Got 3 seconds to get to the line. I don't think he's going to do it. Improves by 1.5 tenths. Close the gap between him and Tazza, but Tazza still holds about 2 tenths of a lead over Huey. But improvement's always a good sign, so. Kebab was on a flyer, has voided it again, so you're just seeing how hard it is to keep all 4 tyres on this track tonight. We've seen plenty of voided times. As Dutchy is coming out for what will probably be his last or second last attempt here out on track. Yeah, of course, the big week with F1 23 coming out, I believe it's next week. This will be our last season on F1 22. So yeah, it's only an 8-week season, so this is already round 3, so already a quarter of the way or over a quarter of the way through our season after tonight. So yeah, the next season you'll see season 9 will be on F1 23. So if you are interested, you got a few weeks to get yourself practiced up and used to the new mechanics that are coming in the new game and ready for the new season starting. So plenty of time still over a month before we get there. But yeah, I'm gonna quite looking forward to the new game with the story mode. I always enjoy a good story mode in games, even if it is a racing story mode. But yeah, no, I'll look forward to it very much so. So at the moment, we have got all drivers except for Dutchy out in the pit lane. So Dutchy here potentially going to give themselves a chance to go 2 more laps by the time they get around. So, well, actually, they definitely will. They'll have about 2.5 minutes left by the time they complete this lap to get themselves back around, build up the ERS. And potentially move themselves up just a few little places here. He's got to get a bit of a tow by Apex, which is probably perfect timing by the Alfa Romeos here. Apex gets clearly out of the way to ensure that he doesn't impede his teammate. But again, about to pass the Sector 1 time here. Oh, Apex gets DSQ'd from Quali after trying to do the right thing, gets out of the way for his teammate. And unfortunately, the time will stand. Oh, no, it doesn't. Apex gets put down to 14th for DSQing. That hurts. Unfortunately, that's just welcome to EA. Oh, that's not a good sign. That's not a good thing. Tries to get out of the way, does the right thing by his teammate, and because of how far he went out, gets DSQ'd for going the wrong way. Oh, Apex is, I'm sure, having a few choice words at the moment. As we see Dutchy come in to this finish line here, going to not really improve. 3-4 tenths up on their time there. And at the moment, he'll have probably one more chance to get out there and try to improve that time and get himself further up, as Apex was 6, so he has moved up into the, what's that? Still in the 5th row there, in 9th, but one more position higher. So his fit goes 3 tenths faster without using ERS, is what I'm seeing. Doesn't improve on time, so I think there might have been a timing error there. We're on board with my fellow commentator on a Wednesday night, it must be said. Do enjoy commentating with Svit as he voids the lap right there and then. So well done, Svit. We've got that all on camera there, mate. All for you. I'll be making sure to give him crap about that later on. So as we mentioned, Cat, currently in our Division 2 drivers, gets the chance to come in and see how he does in Division 1. Drives in our iRacing League as well on a Sunday if you wanted to see the man in action again. And he's going to come in for what is probably going to be his last chance to post a flying lap. And we'll certainly be looking to improve this time into the 107. Still hasn't been able to break the 107 curse at the moment. And if he wants to be anywhere near the top of the grid order, he would need to be looking at that 107, mid 107 at least to get into your 4th and 5th, or low 107s to get into your top front 2 rows. But manages to keep all 4 tyres on the track there just. Well, yeah, 107.1 is currently our pole position in our highest division here, Master. So, mate, if that's the times you're posting, you might be joining us on a Thursday night. So, welcome to put in the times. You got to do a few quali instructions for joining the league. I believe it's Miami in Australia is where you got to post some time trial times. And then, yeah, go from there. So, Cat at the moment, though, 900s up on their current time. So, not improving by the looks of things going into this. But it looks like Cat will be keeping 8th as they go into the pits. And then, yeah, that would be all said and done as Svit had decided to crash out and won't be posting another time here. So, the best Svit can do is 4th. As we're on board currently with Huey, who is on their last flying lap here. Got to try and catch Tazza, who has posted this time as his banker lap and has not been challenged since. And what I'm worried about is that as Huey goes around, and that will be Huey's qualies done. As the M-Dog comes to the start-finish line, is 100th of a second up. And I believe that is our front 2 rows done. Seb's 800s up, so potentially could jump Asako for 5th position if he keeps this time going. He'll still be in the 3rd row, but 5th instead of 6th might make the difference. Gives you the inside line rather than the outside as well. So, oh no, he's voided that track, so that'll be Seb's quali done as well. Dutchy then, our last current driver on track. You can see he was currently 2/10 up on his time. ERS is completely depleted as he goes down the start-finish straight. But whether he's able to finish the track off, hugs that pit line, comes in tight, won't improve the time at all. And that will be our quali session done. So Tazza takes P1, Huey P2, M-Dog P3, Spit P4. And we now have 36 laps around Brazil for you all to enjoy. Just make sure I get all the positions there, because I know our app that we normally use is not working. So, good news is there's enough people that it fits on one page. So that makes my job super easy. So you can see there, Huey went through 4 sets of softs in quali. That's it. So Huey, I can be telling you now, will not be looking at a soft tyre compound for this. We get all the incidents on track, but Tazza, Huey, M-Dog's Fit will be your front 2 rows. Asako, Seb, Kebab, Combined, Cat, and Wereboy round out your top 10. So, ironically, if you posted a time, you were actually looking almost at a top 10 finish. Dutch, unfortunately, is our only driver who posted a time who's outside the top 10 in 11th place. And, of course, Apex getting harshly done by the DSQ rule of going backwards in track. So after trying to give way to his teammate, and our mannequin pit crews all standing out in their beautiful gear, ready for what is going to be an exciting Brazil race. So again, safety cars are known here. We did see a couple of them last night in our Division 2 race. We didn't see any, well, we saw a virtual safety car, sorry, I'll correct myself, in Division 3. So it'll be up to the drivers here and who wants to give way, especially going into turn 1, 2, and 3, Center and Delago are kind of your main areas where I'm worried for early crashes here. But in saying that, we are yet to have one in all divisions, and I'm well aware that commentary curse is a thing. So if we do have a crash in turn 1, I will take full responsibility of that. And I'm sure someone will clip that and report me to the FIA as they have in previous times as well. So make your predictions in chat. Who are we believing is coming through? We've got Eckham at the back of the pack, our current championship leader, who has currently got the job of trying to go from last to first to keep their championship position. But Seb was kind of in the middle of the pack here, so he's going to get really caught up in this traffic going into the first couple of corners. And we'll have to make sure he tries to get out of that safely without any damage or anything like that as well. So, Master, I have had FIA tickets put in against me because I've cursed players in previous races. So, yeah, I don't know why they keep getting me back to commentate, because apparently I just curse everyone. So, now, as I mentioned as well, in the next 2 weeks after this, we are doing 100% races. So, we will have a formation lap just in case for anyone who's new. So don't stress too much when you're worried what everyone's doing here. Now, big factor of tonight. Last night, we saw what was an absolute magical move by some of our drivers. And they managed to go 21 laps on mediums. So we had about 3 or 4 drivers push those mediums out for 21, 22 laps. Now, obviously, the benefit of being in Division 1 is you get the chance to watch all drivers in previous divisions and see what type of strategy they take. So I know for a fact that has changed a couple of strategies for some drivers tonight. And obviously, if you get put in a scenario where you need to jump on the mediums early, I believe, I think it's why you're seeing a majority of drivers going on the hard tyres, because they know that they can swap to those mediums earlier than maybe necessary. Just as long as they can get about 12 or 13 laps out of their hard tyres, then yeah, I think that's where you can see the medium tyres jump on. And as long as you're careful enough, you're able to make sure that your medium tyres go the whole way. So a couple of our drivers have decided to go the medium tyre, who are kind of maybe hoping for the early safety car. A couple of the drivers that took the risk last night got rewarded perfectly. We had a safety car lap 12, which was exactly when they wanted it, swapping over to the hards for the rest of the race. And certainly saw that gamble pay off for a lot of them. So, oh, Master, it's all done in fun. Trust me when I say that. None of it was taken seriously. We, us commentators, report ourselves when we do it. So I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the nice words. I really do. But I can promise you, it's all done in fun. No offense was taken. No, I'm pretty sure I reported myself one night for doing it. So yeah, no stress at all. But thank you for the kind words, mate. So we're going to jump on board with probably let's go Seb in the middle of the pack here. He'll get the best views going in to Senna and Delago, which is going to be obviously the. Oh, Apex has been. Oh no, we're good. 4, 5 lights here, holding, ready for the launch of Division 1, and we are off. Taz is on the outside with Huey on the inside. Huey just crashes straight into the wall. M-Dog manages to go straight through on Tazza, takes P1 away from him, goes around the outside. Tazza's going to almost force him wide. Gone 2-1 into the first couple corners, and M-Dog takes the lead away from Tazza. Not the result that Tazza would have been hoping for. As we see the suggested tyre strategy up on the board, Taz is now looking on the inside of M-Dog, take back P1 from him. But what happened to Huey? Slams himself straight into the starting wall there. Dutch obviously got caught up with all that because he's dropped back towards the end of the pack as well, but Apex making their way through, and Eckham still caught up in the back of this long DRS train between our drivers as we head into this technical sector 2 here. Now mindful, all drivers are tank full of fuel at the moment. You saw combined YT trying to go around the outside of Eckham, but backs away and goes in for the long run. So what a hectic start. Not the start that Huey would be looking for after what was a sensational qualifying, it must be said. Got within 2/10 of Tazza within quali. But away we go. M-Dog with the absolute perfect start on those hard laps. Managed to avoid Huey, who was right in front of him, and his own teammate, as we see Huey come into the pits to replace that front wing. Well, that's no longer existing. And has taken the lead into this race. So Cat down the back of the pack makes the move on Kebab. So Cat, again, one of our Division 2 drivers, finding himself in P6 on lap 2. He has noodle arms. He cannot blame gym work on the reason why he decided to put his car nose first into the wall at the start. So I'm not accepting that one from Huey. I'll accept something else from him. So, so again, those who may be new to F1, the 1 second gap is crucial when this lap finishes. As we've had a bit of a spin, Fit has decided to go around in the last few corners of Sector 2. He will drop down all the way back to 13th behind Dutch after going P4. So again, not the result that Svit was looking for. Seb making the move on Cat. Cat's maybe got himself up to P4 here. They're going to go too wide into center, leaving enough room for everyone. Cat's got the medium tires here, so should be able to make the move going down into this section. First straight, DRS will be activated. As you can see, drivers are going almost 3 wide into this Max Verstappen corner. And Cat in the podium positions at the moment. Again, our Division 2 driver is working themselves into a podium in Division 1, so proving that they should be in this top division here. Whilst all that has been happening behind us, Tazza and the M-Dog have taken a massive lead away from the rest of the group. Tazza's broken the DRS away from Cat and is certainly now eyeing off that podium position back again. Well, sorry, that first position that he qualified in, that's for sure. Oh, Cat has spun around after being P3 and doing so well at the start. Cat's going to spin around and potentially drop behind Dutch and Svit. That's a really unfortunate event there for Cat as Spliff making the way up the inside of Seb. Sorry, the outside of Seb. They're going to go too wide into center, into Del Lago now, and it looks like the move's been done. Spliff, remember, had a quali ban, so has started at the back of the pack and has got themselves into a podium position. So again, some great moves here by a couple of our Division 1 drivers. Spliff on those medium tyres, so certainly using the extra pace that they're going to get around this short circuit track of Brazil and trying to make the moves early on. So we'll have to make a pit stop potentially around 9 laps earlier than what most of our drivers will. Currently only 3 drivers start on the mediums. Huey changed to the mediums after the unfortunate start that he had after being on the hards, so potentially can go on the hards when he needs to pit stop later on the track. Almost loses the back end. Spliff keeps it there. Apex and Kebab going side by side through this last part of Sector 2, and Apex makes the move, takes P5, and we're going to spin here by Ezekiel. That last corner going into the back end straight is proving hassles for our Division 1 drivers. It's about the 3rd driver who spun there. Apex now defending that P4 position. As you can see, Seb coming up the inside of Kebab. Is he going to get the move done? They're going to go too wide again through center and Delago, and Seb again gets the move done, makes himself up to P5. So nice little move there by our drivers. Everyone doing quite well. On board with Ekem, our championship leader, after crashing out in quali, having to start in the back row along with Seb, has got himself into the points. Seb's only a couple of positions in front of him. And currently 10 points between the two up the front of the Division 1 championship. So crucial race for the two of them after what was a poor quali for them. Ekem's got 2 fastest lap. Boy has crashed out at Sector 2, and that will be safety car. It is a full safety car here. And does anyone pit? I doubt any of the hard drivers will pit. And it's perfect timing for a lot of our drivers. As I say that, though, Spliff has come in off those mediums and is going to chuck on the hard tyres and try and extend them out for as long as he can. Who else have we got? We got anyone else coming in? It looks like Dutchy's coming in as well to get rid of those hard tyres. And we've got a few actually. Cat's coming in and Ezekiel have all come in. So 4 drivers decide to pit under safety car. And I tell you what, the driver who is loving this, and it would give him a chance to really get back to where they were, is Huey. After having a pit early on, this will obviously bunch the rest of the pack up under this safety car. And we'll get Huey right back in this race. He's got the fastest lap under his belt, so has proven that he's got the speed and was shown why he qualified P2 here tonight. But we'll be looking to try and finish this race off and gain a few positions and ultimately gain a few points. Comes in and pits and puts on those 1 lap old hards that he started on. And perfect time, perfect chance for us to see our... well, there you go. There's the fastest laps. That's something that we can all have a look at. Cat's got a 3-second penalty currently and position changes. So Huey, as we know, the big loser currently with positions, 11 positions down. Apex, though, 11 positions up after being DSQ'd, starting at the back of the pack with, was it Eckham and Spliff as well. So Apex to be in P3 after, he would have been frustrated after being DSQ'd the way he was. He's done quite well, and this safety car has bunched up M-Dog and Tazza, who has taken the lead as well. So apologies, we missed the lead change at the front. But Tazza's taken back P1 from M-Dog and is now going to try and defend another restart in this race. So, not surprisingly, but most of our hard tyres drivers have decided to stay out. Obviously, you want to try and get about 20 laps plus out of those tyres, ideally. But as I said, we saw last night, we had about 3 drivers push the medium tyres out to 20 laps here. So, it certainly can use those medium tyres for a bit longer if you look after them. And I don't want to say that it's not what Dutch and Cat are looking to do, but we still have 30 odd laps to do around this track, 28 by the time the safety car comes in, 29. I know 20 was stretching the tyres. I don't want to know what 29 would do to them, so it is a massive gamble if you're looking to take those medium tyres for 29 laps. Who knows, maybe softs come into it. Obviously the hard tyres still need a pit, so potentially you use the mediums with that extra pace to gain a few positions and then jump on the softs as we get the luxurious announcement that the safety car is coming in here. So on board with Tazza, who will be now in control of this 13 driver race after Werribee has crashed out. We'll be seeing Werribee again on Sunday for our iRacing League, so make sure to tune in for that one. 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. But back with the F1, Tazza now up front has gone, launched it away. M-Dog has kind of caught it, but Apex has caught everyone. He's going to look to go on the inside of M-Dog here into turn 1, center and Delago, but looks like everyone's going okay. Kebab out the back has decided to spin, but dropping a few positions. Eckham now the championship leader right behind his second place rival. And we are back racing here in Brazil. 8 laps into 36, plenty of racing to go. As no little cheeky dives going into the Max Verstappen corner. I say it's Max Verstappen because he imprinted a move that was highly illegal, but you know we won't talk about that because that's a whole genre of things to talk about there. So again, Dutch and Cat, we're looking to gain a few positions on these new medium tyres, try to get themselves higher up into the points. But they've got some pretty fierce and pretty skilled drivers to get past here, so Seb really has to be said is using that ERS, or not using it, it should be said. And both the previous nights, ERS has just been absolutely used and abused on this track. So a lot of drivers struggling with ERS towards the end of the race. And it'd be interesting to see how our top drivers can show them how it's done. Got a few moves. Dutch has managed to make the move on both Cat and Spliff going into the first corner. So Senna seems to be an absolute favourite of a move place at the moment. And we'll be keeping an eye on that first corner there to see who gets the inside line and can really keep control of their car around that whole way. So a little bit of a gap forming now between our top 4 drivers and the rest of the pack. Dutch now making a move on Spit down the inside, going into the S as well of Sector 2. And not an unusual place to see an overtake, but certainly that's a brave move to be made there. So Dutch showing his colours, showing his skill here. 10 laps or 9 laps into Brazil. And is looking to make his way up this pack pretty quickly. Seb here, as we mentioned, hasn't used too much of the DRS, but is hovering on that 1 second barrier of the DRS as it will be activated this lap coming in. M-Dog and Tazza though are going to go too wide into center. Taz is going to take the inside line, which seems to be the better line of the two at the moment. But DRS activated and M-Dog will have DRS here going into this first straight. Which line is going to be given? He's going to have a little look, but not going to make the move this lap here. And positions will more than likely stay as they are going into Sector 2. And again, we'll wait till we get into the flat-out straight of Sector 3 before the next move is made. A spin at the back by our two back markers of it's Fit again who spun around. It has to be said the man was sick and the reason why he didn't commentate this week, so I can give him a little bit of slack. Will I be giving him crap next week on Wednesday night? Absolutely. So make sure you join in for that one next Wednesday in Division 2. If all you want to do is hear me give crap to Svit, that'd be great. So, very quickly, our podium runners are drifting away from the back of the pack. Apex, M-Dog, and Tazza all making their moves, but look who's coming through. Ekem has just made the move on Seb to take back P4, and he is now going to be mowing down these front three. Everyone now in our top 6 positions, all on the same lap tire life, so no one's really got an advantage here. It's all pace. And we'll be keeping an eye on that time as Ekem goes a little wide at turn 4 there, turn 5. Gives a little bit of a chance for Seb to have a little bit of a look. Just got to control it here going into the S. And everything seems to be fine here, but again, front 3 staying tight. Apex looking to make a move on M-Dog. Won't be making anything here, be this back straight that we see the move being made, but again, ERS for all our front 3. Tazza's okay, he's at 60%, so not bad management by Tazza. But M-Dog and Apex, they are both below 30% here and are struggling to keep on with our P1 driver at the moment. Tazza currently placed, has scored points currently in the championship. Sorry, I needed to correct myself. Svit's currently in 10th. As we see M-Dog go again on the inside. We've seen this move a couple of times here. Apex is coming to make it 3 wide, but M-Dog takes P1 back. Apex comes on the inside. Tazza loses 2 positions in 2 corners. And we're looking to go 3 wide here into turn 4. Apex actually manages to go around the outside. Gets pushed a little wide, but M-Dog stays P2. No gain for M-Dog, but you can see the red blinking life of death for Apex. He might be P1, but he's got nothing to defend with now with an ERS. So Tazza obviously hasn't been in a DRS chance before after leading the majority of this race. So this Sector 3 would be the first chance that we see Tazza with DRS, and both drivers in front of him are quite low in the ERS train. So this is going to be interesting. This fight is not over between our drivers up the front. Now, as I mentioned, I was going to keep an eye on it, but our championship leader has cut that time between him and Tazza down by a second already. So I guarantee you that this P1 fight is about to come about 5 drivers if this time keeps going. On board with Tazza now. As you can see, Apex almost loses it into T1 center. Going through Delago now into the DRS straight. You can see that M-Dog has no ERS move, and M-Dog blocks on the inside line. Tries to go to the inside for P1, but here comes Tazza going 2 wide into P5. M-Dog takes to the temporary P1 position. This is dangerous driving between our front 3 here, but some fantastic battles. M-Dog takes P1. Apex dropped down to 2nd, and Tazza just could not get that move done. And look who's behind him. Ekem has joined the DRS train along with Seb, along with Dutch. And this is getting spicy now up the front here. All this fighting between our front 3. Dutch almost loses it as we caught him sideways there. That's a crucial 3-second time penalty for Tazza up the front. All this fighting, all it's done is just backed up the group. And you can see 7 cars now are all within this DRS train. And the fight for P1 is on. No move from our drivers, which is unusual to see going into center. DRS will open now for Tazza. But I think we're just going to build some ERS by the looks of it and get ready for a move later on. Again, pit stop window is opening in a few laps for our hard runners. So maybe in about 3 or 4 laps is when our pit stop window will open. Around lap 20, I should say, so maybe 6 laps or so. But our medium drivers, Dutch and Kat, who are on those 8-lap old mediums, if I'm then, I'm probably pitting around the same time as our hard drivers, because that way you can chuck on the hard and go for the rest of the race after having an early pit stop on those tyres. It's either that or you push it all the way and go into the softs to finish the race. So everyone still needs to make another pit stop, which is kind of what needs to occur unless a safety car occurs, which maybe might extend the tyre lives out a little bit. But with the way that these drivers are racing, who knows how this all plays out. As I mentioned, Eckham has now got himself in this battle, has distanced himself from Seb, broken the DRS strain. So 3 now becomes 4 for P1 here in Brazil in Division 1. And here we go. Eckham is just a little bit further back. We'll get the DRS, but here comes Tazza on board with Apex. Gonna try and not push him out of the way, but it's gonna take P2 away from Apex. M-Dog defending beautifully for P1, but Tazza's got to go around the outside. Almost took P1 away from M-Dog there. But Tazza takes second place from Apex and is now eyeing off that P1 position, which he held the whole quali, and to be wanting to finish there after what was a brilliant time set in quali. So this is some exciting stuff from our Div 1 drivers. Whether he's using it just strategically, like turning it off at certain points. I couldn't answer as to why the flicker happened between our drivers. That is a fair point though. But he has used a chunk of it to get P1. Master, you can replenish ERS, so you can. So DRS is this line here, which you can see the back wing opening up. ERS is the number that you can see in the yellow down the bottom. Which you can replenish as the laps go on. So something that you can absolutely monitor as the race goes. It is something that, can increase. But yeah, you really have to be mindful how you use it, especially on a track like Brazil that has the massive back end straight. A lot of drivers do struggle to keep their ERS numbers high on this track. So on board with Tazza then, I just cannot keep my eyes away from this front 4 because they seem to have a dive every corner at the moment. Apex now keeping tight. Eckham keeping tight. Dutchy has made his way up to P5 after Seb's had a little bit of an incident. So Dutch has got himself within the DRS of Eckham. And this DRS train has now extending all the way from 1st to 11th. Is all drivers involved in DRS trains here. This is an insane 17 laps in by Division 1 drivers. No one is getting a gap at the moment. This is some fantastic racing. Again, this is the part where we've seen all our moves done. Apex does not have the ERS at all to make a move. And then M-Dog is using everything to stay in front. So again, Tazza still looking like he is in a comfortable position, but I say that he's at 20% with 18 laps to go. We're only halfway in this race, and we still have pit stop strategies to come into play. So all you need is a little bit of clustering in the pit stop or a mistake or a 5-second penalty, and suddenly this whole race flips on itself. Just keeping an eye on Eckham here, who must be said, hasn't made a move yet. But look at that. ERS management has got 59% ERS with 18 laps to go. So Eckham is looking like a dangerous driver from 4th. And I would be worried if I'm these front 3 because I've got the championship leader breathing down my neck with ERS to spend and is able to keep pace with you by just using the DRS. This is going to be a fun time here as we see Cat spins around in Sector 1 after what's been a promising race for them. Yes, unfortunately, he cannot keep the tyres on the track, so it must be said as well as we go through our divisions, the restrictions that are used on the cars gets less and less, or sorry, the assists I should say. So our Division 3s have the most assists, so it's easier to keep your car on the track. Division 2 has the medium amount, and then yeah, Division 1, these guys literally have close to no assists, if not any assist, throughout the whole race. So it is the toughest competition to try and keep your car on the track. And it is why we probably see a couple spins throughout the time. So Cat, who is normally in Division 2, used to a couple more assists that they can usually use throughout the season, is currently experiencing what no assists feels like in a race. So down into our start-finish straight as we start lap 19 of 36 in Brazil. Spliff makes a move down in P8 combined, and then Spliff are actually fighting going into center. In T1, Spliff makes the move though, and manages to get it done. Back up with Tazza, who's kissing the rear end of that Alpine in front of him. Sorry, of the Alfa Atari in front of him. He is the Alpine. Can't make the move just yet. Has worked on that ERS management, got himself back up to 40%. So has done really well to keep this pace and not use the ERS. I am worried for M-Dog going into this Sector 3 straight, because M-Dog's got himself up 25%, so has enough ERS to defend with. But if Tazza so wishes, he can just floor it. DRS train down to 5, so Dutch has managed to get a bit of room between him and Seb to break the DRS train. And P1 positions is fighting off between 5 drivers right now as we're coming into the pits. Early pit stop. M-Dog and Tazza both come into the pits. Must be said, I wasn't predicting that was when our hard tyres would be coming in, but Ekem takes momentarily P1 and is flooring that ERS. He knows he needs to absolutely make an outstanding lap here. This is a lap that he needs to floor, make up as much time as he can while he's got the used tyres. Obviously, the drivers who are used the pit would need to warm up their tyres when they first get out, so they won't be as fast for this first lap. And Ekem realises the opportunity he has here. If he can use these 19-lap-old hards just to catch up what was all of less than a second from him to first, he potentially might be able to take the lead here. This is where your strategy comes into play for our top drivers. I wouldn't be surprised if Dutch follows Ekem in here with those medium lap old, so the 14 lap old tyres. And we're just eyeing off M-Dog, Tazza, Apex, all have gone on to the mediums and we'll be able to carry those all the way to the end. So no pit stop needed for what was our leading drivers as predicted. Ekem's come into pit, Dutch has come into pit, Seb's come into pit, all our drivers now coming into pit. Spliff stays out and will take momentarily P1. Had an earlier pit stop, so he is only on 15 old lap tyres. No ERS to push here as he's got 2 Aston Martins behind him of Combine and Ezekiel. Eyeing off Ekem at the moment, who's coming out of the pit lane now, but here is the rest of those drivers in front. So Tazza going through Senna and Delago will still take that position from Ekem, and the extra lap hasn't worked from Tazza. And Tazza still leads, well, ideally he still leads our Brazilian Grand Prix, but back up the front now with our current leaders, who will all be needing to pack quite soon. Combined, I wouldn't be surprised if they come in now on the 20-lap-old hards. Spliff and Ezekiel potentially could go a little bit longer. And Cat on those 15-lap-old mediums, I'd be surprised if they don't come in soon as well. Sfit, what are you doing down the back, mate? Us commentators need to hold ourselves strong here when we get out on the track. So Combine comes in for that pit as predicted. Spliff's going to stay out for a little bit longer to try to see if he can build a bit of a gap to the drivers behind. Those 16-lap-old tyres will still be able to push a bit compared to our drivers behind. As you see, Tazza sets the new fastest lap on those fresh mediums, so they are coming into their prime now after a couple laps of just warming up. So big opportunity here for Spliff to gain a few positions and get a few crucial points in this championship. As I said, it's only an 8-week season compared to our 12-week season last season. So every race here is crucial. Our 100% races coming up in the next 2 weeks, they are worth double points. So 50 points for first place. It is a complete championship game changer. You take home the win in one of those 100% races and you will find yourself somewhat near the top of the championship. So 100% race, I'm so looking forward to those races next week. It's going to change the way that we see the championship, and it's certainly going to be an endurance test for a lot of our drivers. So bit of a gap now between M-Dog and Apex. So a little bit of a slower start for Apex out of the pits. Has broken the DRS train, as I believe we're seeing is that spin around at the back of the pack. It is. Oh, I'm not going to even address him anymore. Ezekiel now up front. Can't stay within this DRS time of Split, as that pit window for these 3 drivers up front is approaching very quickly. I don't see Cat running these tyres for 30 laps. I just can't see it. Cat potentially can do it because all 3 drivers up front can potentially run these tyres to the ground if they really wanted to. I don't know if that's the strategy, knowing the pace that you have coming behind you. Tazza at a 7.5 second gap, and you've already seen it drop 0.2 in the time, 0.3 that I've been speaking about him. So he is very clearly catching these drivers up front and is looking to get back that position. So this is going to be some fun times for the next 13 laps. Make sure to don't go anywhere as we see who takes out P1 in Brazil for round 3 of Aussie Racing League. Hey, so I'm just seeing a message in chat. You're right, but it's fit. So I'm sure I'll hear all about it on Wednesday's commentary next week. So heading down now to the back of the, middle of the pack now, where what was our race leaders fighting off again. So M-Dog 13% compared to 20 of ERS for Tazza. So keeping within that DRS time, which is the important part here, as the 2 of them try to chase down these front 3. But again, Tazza has taken a 1.5 seconds off that lead in a lap. So Tazza will be within DRS of Cat in about 3 laps, if not 2. Yeah, I hear every excuse every week, so I'd love to know what the excuses are next week when I talk to him about it. So that's for sure. Coming from a man who can't even drive at the moment, so I can't really talk too much like that. Sam now making the inside move on Huey. Huey not having the race that they would have hoped for after qualifying P2, having that early little crash in the wall at the very start, put them at the back of the pack. And they're hanging on for a point at the moment, but whether they can take those 20-lap-old tyres the whole way or not is another question. Still in the points, but yeah, whether they push to softs is another question there. So yeah, I actually haven't heard anything about rain or anything. The sky was looking blue, so I wouldn't question any rain to start with. But if there's any mechanics in chat who can tell us if there is any rain coming, it'd be greatly appreciated. Now jumping on board with, let's go Ekim here, our championship leader. As we approach the start-finish line, what we're going to do is jump on board the whole way around his track, and we can see what Brazil looks like from point of view of our championship leader here. So I'll go quiet for this lap and enjoy the views of Brazil. jumping back in because our leader, who was leading for the majority of this race, Tazza, has crashed out because Dutchy's crashed into him. We've got a full safety car here as Tazza has crashed out of the race. He was on the racing line in his crash. And unfortunately, Dutchy's come around the corner and just T-boned him directly and taken him out of the race. Our front three drivers are loving this because they're getting a free safety car here right now. We asked for it and we needed it to spice things up. We've just had 2 drivers crash out in the one. And opportunity here for a couple of our drivers to go onto the softs. Cat's got to take the chance here going into the pits to go onto the soft tyres. What an absolute spice up for this race. So those 3 drivers out the front there who I was throwing away, who needed to still pit and was going to get overtaken, they have just had an absolute reward for taking those tyres that little bit further. So Spliff, Ezekiel and Cat were all on 20 lap old tyres plus. And they have just been given what is a chance here to podium, if not carry on with in P2 or P1. Svit's got to catch up to the rest of the group, so Svit's now got a chance to make something of his race, as now only one person in this current group of drivers will not get points. And well, yeah, this is definitely the spice up that we were asking for. So the big battle here, though, our front 2 runners in the championship position currently are side by side in this safety car. So Seb and Ekim, after Ekim starting in the back row of this race, Seb starting middle of the pack, have managed to find each other for what will be the last 8 laps of this race. Great point out, Master. Combined and Cat on the softs are going to be loving this safety car, because especially with how fast Svit is behind the rest of the pack, this safety car will go the full 3 laps. So we've already completed 1. This is lap 2. Svit's put on fresh medium, so should be able to catch up fairly quickly. Whether he's actually be able to do that by lap 3, though, is a question, but it does mean that this safety car will push for the whole 3 laps and gives Cat and Combine what will be all of 7 laps to push on softs, which is absolutely doable around Brazil. Everyone's ERS will replenish, so everyone will have 100% ERS for the final 7 laps. And you've just been gifted a 7-lap shootout here for the Division 1 race around Brazil. And this is going to be an exciting finish here. Reminder for all those as well, if you're wanting to watch different style of racing, but some more racing on Sunday afternoon, 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, our iRacing League is heading to Virginia International for round 2 of our iRacing. We've got 3 divisions across amateur, intermediate, and our pro. A lot of the drivers you're seeing tonight, you will see on Sunday again. So certainly, if you're looking for some Sunday afternoon action, I'll be commentating again, so you'll be able to hear my lovely voice. Please, no one agree to that. And I'll be able to run you through everything that goes around our quali, our sprint race, and our feature race, which all happens Sunday afternoon, 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard. Look forward to seeing you all there. So this will be the last lap of the safety car. Huey comes in to put on what I can imagine is soft tyres. Yep. And Svit's actually going to catch the rest of the group. So that's a nice little play by Svit. What he has to worry about now, he's in 10th to that final position. Huey has just put on soft tyres. And he's got Combined in front of him, who's also got the softs that have barely been used. You will be really trying to defend hard if you're Svit there in P10. Cat, who we've seen can run with the front of the pack, is on those soft tyres as well. So eyes on Cat to see how many positions they can claim here. Safety car will be in this lap, and we will be racing with 7 laps to go here at Brazil. This is going to be an interesting one. Eyes then on M-Dog. Tazza and Dutchy are going to be so annoyed at that finish after what's been a fantastic race by both drivers. That's not going to be the finish that they were hoping for there. There we go, the announcement that we were hoping for. Safety car in this lap. This train is now on control of M-Dog. Everyone is ERS full. Everyone is waiting to take the overtakes into turn 1. You've got Ekim and Seb down in P6 and 7, your front 2 runners of the championship who will be looking to gain these positions, but we've got a couple soft tyre runners here who will be having the speed to make these overtakes. M-Dog is gone. Apex almost caught it, but here comes Spliff, who's managing to take the little kiss line on Apex, goes around the outside, got to try and do the switcheroo. Apex has a little bit of a spin, as all clean racing up the front. No DRS for the first 2 laps before safety car, or after safety car. So everyone using their ERS to keep up to pace. Ekim going a little wide, trying to see if he can get on the inside of Cat in front of him, which is going to be a tough job with those soft tyres on. But no position changes between everyone. Here he gets a 3-second time penalty. There really hasn't been many penalties this race, so great racing by everyone. Cat does have the 3 seconds for the multiple track warnings, so that's going to hurt with that safety car. But if it's anyone who can stretch it out, it is someone on the soft tyres there, so we'll be looking to try and get as far away from anyone as possible and stretch out those 3 seconds. So 7 laps is enough to try and make a bit of a difference with the time. As we've seen, it kind of takes only about 2 laps for a second to be broken out. So back with our front 3 now, who already have gotten a bit of a gap. Spliff's got 6/10 on Ezekiel behind him. Who was that? Cato, who went very wide into that final corner. Ekim makes the move for P5 here. Cato must have just had a little bit of mistiming with that corner. As you can see, ERS for Spliff down to 24% in 2 laps after the safety car. I say that, but Apex is down to 15%. M-Dog's done half a right with the 60% after 2 laps, so he's made sure to keep the lead. And this is some interesting racing with 6 laps to go here in Brazil as we head into S in Sector 2. Seen a lot of drivers spin around in that sector there, so everyone's just got to play it a little bit carefully. And looks like everyone is going to play some carb racing, but no one's managed to break the DRS 1 second gap at the moment. So DRS will be activated going into this next lap, as Spliff is still eyeing off this Alfa Romeo symbol in front of him. He's got a bit of a gap behind him for Ezekiel, but here we go. Going to be given the outside line again by Apex. He does prefer the inside line, almost competing with M-Dog up front. A little bit of contact between the 2 drivers, a little bit of a spin by Spliff. Ezekiel comes from behind, and there's Ekim. There's a little bit of a touch by Ekim. We've got damage everywhere. A little bit of a catch there by some damage coming through by some drivers behind. A few touches on a few passerbys, but that is not the result that Spliff would be wanting after going P3 and just playing the strategy perfectly by stretching out those tyres. It's an unfortunate result, but the worrying sign for our front 2, your championship leader is now in a podium position, and Seb is down in P6. So right now, this championship gap is getting stretched here in round 3 in Brazil. Ekim with monster of ERS over Apex, as now Spliff, those tyres will be screaming after those few spin arounds here. So unless there's a last minute safety car here, Ekim's going to make the move on Apex for P2, and here he comes. M-Dog, you've got a new challenger for that front position, and Apex is going to drain his ERS to try and stay with them. But this is not what Seb would have been wanting after seeing Ekim start in the back row. He's done well to get into the front 2, and now the real race is on for P1. And this is going to be an absolute shootout for this trophy of Brazil. We've got 3 laps remaining as they head through Sector 2, 3.5, it has to be said. Making sure we don't lose control of the cars going into these tricky few corners. Spliff as that turn off in spin off in sector 1 is just gone from bad to worse for Spliff after that little contact from everyone who was behind. So our DRS train goes down to the front 9 drivers now. So here goes Eckham on the outside. He's going to get the move done on M-Dog. Goes around the outside pretty cleanly. And Eckham takes the lead with 3 laps to go of Brazil. He's used all his ERS. M-Dog has a little bit left in the tank to try and make a comeback here. They're going to go too wide into the Max Verstappen corner 4. M-Dog backs off a bit, uses the ERS, or what he has left of it anyway, to try and stay with Eckham, and any chance of fight back for P1 is getting slim here for M-Dog. Apex still in the works here, trying to get P2 in as many points as he can. As we see the back marker of Spliff, that's how bad Spliff's race gone. In a matter of 2 laps, he's gone from P3 to now almost being lapped by everyone. So blue flags will get shown for Spliff heading into this final sector. And Eckham has managed to create half a second gap between him and Mad Dog in a matter of 2 sections. So is running away as we head into the penultimate lap of Brazil. M-Dog managed to get it down to 2/10 with the DRS of that final straight. So it must be said that it is a long straight as we see Spliff spin around again. And he has really not enjoyed that sector 1 center and Delago corners, that's for sure. So Apex down to 3%, Ezekiel 6%, Seb's got 25%. So still a battle potentially for Seb for P4. So again, ERS really is not in the hands of anyone except for Seb down in P5, but might be able to chase down Ezekiel and Apex, but it's going to be an absolute challenge to try and chase down these front 2 runners who had made a tiny little bit of a gap. But M-Dog's going to be careful that Eckham doesn't race away with this, because he's about to break the DRS train, and he has now. So Eckham will not give DRS to M-Dog down this main straight, and it's going to probably be the biggest factor now. Oh, he must have only just got it because his wing is open. As you can see, that time now crashing down. Here we go here. White flags out. Final lap in Brazil. Can the championship leader hold on for the P1 position and extend his lead going into the halfway mark of the season? Apex trying to make a move with no ERS. Ezekiel again, no ERS. And Seb, 20%. And is probably the man I'll be eyeing off for the remainder of this lap, as all our moves will be coming from P5 going into this final straight. Everyone just making sure that there's no last minute spins here going into the notorious sector 2 corners that we know so well to be the cause of spins. Huey jumps on the softs in P10 to get the fastest lap point, so we'll get that extra point being in P10. And here we go, the last corner. And Seb's got 30% ERS, who's just going to use it all. Going into this final straight, we'll jump back on our champion, our race leader, who comes around the first corners. We'll take P1 at Brazil. M-Dog takes P2. Ezekiel P3. Seb cannot get the jump done at P5. Ezekiel P4, sorry, Apex P3. Kapab P6. Svit does come back and does P7, so nicely done by Svit. Combined goes P8, Cat P9, Huey P10, and what was not the result they were hoping for, P11 for Spliff, and does not get any points tonight. What an insane race to finish things off for this week for the ARL F1 season. Whew. Those soft tyres just did not come into play for Combined and Cat. It was not really what they were hoping to get done, so I don't think any improvement by those drivers down in P9 and P10. It was, what a race. What a fantastic result by our drivers. Apex gets driver of the day. No surprise when they were towards the back of the pack after being DSQ'd. Goes in P3, sorry, gets a podium. gets, deservedly driver of the day. Although Eckham, I suppose, went from P13 to P1. So I suppose you can say that, Eckham did quite well to go all the way back of the pack as well. So what a race. What a race. At one stage there, all drivers from the back of the pack were in our top 4. Eckham, Spliff, and Apex. So back of the pack drivers have done well to put themselves in a position where they were fighting for points. Get your champagne, throw it around your teams. It's been a great effort by all the drivers, and their strategies all paid off. So that last minute safety car certainly played a bit of a factor. Is it not going to allow me to get the final positions? I suppose it showed it in the race, but that's nice. Cool. Okay, so I don't get to do the race director. My apologies to everyone there. If there is anyone in chat who's able to give me Eckham in the commentary, who's able to drag him in, because I can't see anyone. Oh, actually, can I see? Oh, hang on. Oh, no, maybe not. Can I grab? Yeah, there we go. I can grab Eckham. Very good. Oh, I don't have the ability to drag anymore. Oh, I'm trying to get Eckham in chat to do a few commentary, but otherwise that will be it for us tonight. Thank you, Master. I appreciate that, mate. Thank you, mate. We will, back next Tuesday for our Division 3 drivers. It'll be Crosso and Officer Ling in for that. I'll be on Wednesday with Svit, and then I'm on again Thursday with Snoop if he is back by then. So, and then, again, if you're interested in your iRacing divisions, Sunday, 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard can be time to watch some iRacing in our GT3 series for all that. So one last attempt to try and grab Eckham in for an interview, if possible, if anyone's listening to the chat. If not, I'll give it maybe about another minute before I sign off, and that'll be us done for the Division 1 race here at Brazil. So if we go back to our live standings, take off the test video of Brazil. So as you can see, we are off to Italy next week for the 100% race, followed by Spa. So both races are worth double points for our F1 championship. So again, it will make such a difference. Even coming in like your 5th and 6th, it's still some crucial points there to jump the leaderboard, as Mercedes will take a bigger lead in Division 1. So I believe it's Alfa Romeo or Aston Martin who are leading the championship overall across all 3 divisions. But Mercedes, after Eckham fighting his way back from the back of the pack to first, will extend that lead for Mercedes there. So nice little plays there by everyone. Looks like we're not going to have any interviews tonight. And but that is us done. Thank you everyone very much for tuning in. It's been an absolute privilege to do our top drivers in ARL. Again, if you are keen, there is still time for you to join for the remaining seasons. So we still do have 5 races left and we hit the halfway mark next week. Just join the Discord and we can get you all sorted into your division and go from there. So I will sign off for the night. Thank you very much. I'm Butters. I've been your host for tonight, and we will see you all Sunday if you join us for iRacing. Otherwise, Tuesday for our Division 3 100% race. Thank you very much, and enjoy your weekend. Thanks all.